Um, I've learned about skin through my life, mainly because it's been a necessity for me because I've had very reactive skin, very sensitive skin. I suffer from eczema since I was a child, and if I go in the sun, I used to get really bad prickly heat. So I had all these skin issues, and traditional medicine doesn't really provide a solution for these sort of skin issues. So I sort of started to investigate ways that I could look after my skin myself that didn't involve just putting things like hydrocortisone on my skin, which made it sort of thin and reactive and just provided a temporary solution. And I learned how important it was, and obviously we all know this, it's really important to be mindful about what we're putting on our skin, but it's also even more important to be mindful about what you're putting in your body, what you're feeding your skin with in terms of nutrition. However, even if we're putting really great nutrition into our bodies, there is this aging process that happens to us. And this is where the impact of reduced collagen production comes in. And I noticed this myself, particularly, I don't know whether anybody else has experienced this, but I started waking up in the morning and looking in the mirror, and I had sort of like crease marks on my face from where my face had been against my pillow. And I'd look at, I think, what on earth's that? And it would last for about 2 hours. And of course, what that was is the collagen production declining. So instead of the skin being nice and smooth and firm, it was starting to sort of lose that bounce back quality that we get from collagen. And sort of I don't know whether, as Emma mentioned, we're a lot of us are spending a lot of time on Zoom, so we're actually looking at our image a lot more than we would normally do. And added to that, we can see that we haven't been to the hairdressers for a long time, and we haven't been able to go to our beautician, maybe have a lovely facial. You know, our hair, our skin, our nails are probably looking a bit rough and not so good as usual as well. So added to that, there was a cosmetic surgeon recently this week on television. He did cause a bit of a furore because he said that he thought that we hadn't aged just by 1 year over lockdown, we'd aged by 5 years. So that was a sort of quite a scary statistic for me, and I'm sure for the rest of you as well. So I'm going to talk today about something that we can all do, which is far less drastic than cosmetic surgery, which incidentally, they're calling it the Zoom boom for cosmetic surgery. And they're also talking about lockdown hands, which is a thing, you know, because we've all been sanitizing our hands. So the skin on our hands is really poor as well. So we can do something about this. We can start to top up our collagen stores. And I've just got a short presentation to show you with for that. So let me just see if I can find this. Here we go. There we go. That worked. That was a miracle. Okay, so we're going to talk today very much about this magic ingredient called collagen, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard about, and how that it can affect not only our skin and our appearance, but also our whole body. So it has total body benefits as well. Okay, I'm trying to move. There we go. So why collagen? Collagen is actually the most abundant protein in the body. So it accounts for about 1/3 of your total body composition of protein. And you probably know it's a building block for your hair, your skin, and your nails. But you might not know that actually it's really important for your cartilage, for your muscles, for your tendons, for your ligaments. And, you know, a lot of us are finding that we're getting results from boosting our collagen in not only in how we look on the outside, but also in our flexibility and for our whole structural system. You might not know as well that collagen is really found in all sorts of parts of the body, including the teeth and the organs and even in your eyes there. And if you think of collagen a bit like glue that holds things together, that gives you a good idea of what it does. And it's actually from the Greek word collagen, kola, which of course means glue in Greek. As we age, our bodies unfortunately produce less collagen, but it's a bit of a double whammy, because added to that, we also start to produce enzymes which destroy collagen. So we've got the reduction in collagen and then the increase in those enzymes that destroy it. So even by the age of 25, you've already reduced your collagen production by 10%, which is quite scary, because I don't think many of us are on this call are 25 still. And I was a bit taken aback when I saw this chart, because actually I'm off the chart, which wasn't very reassuring. And from around about the menopause for women, so that's on average about 51 years old, we lose a staggering 30% of our collagen production in the first 5 years after the menopause. So that you can see that, you know, it really is diminishing returns, and we can do something, luckily, to help this. This gives you a little bit of an idea of how the skin is structured. And you can see on the left-hand side that the collagen fibers are very strong and uniform. And in fact, collagen is a three-stranded molecular structure. And you need those three strands to come together to make a really strong collagen formation. Unfortunately, as we age, you can see the older picture there on the right, the collagen has started to break down, and that firm structure has started to degrade, which means that the surface of the skin then starts to buckle, and that's when we get the wrinkles appearing, fortunately. But the good news, so it's good that there is good news, there's quite a few studies now showing that ingesting collagen, taking collagen into your body, has a positive influence on creating more collagen. And as we said, it doesn't just target your skin, but it targets all the structures in your body, all the connective tissue in your body. And of course, it's suitable for men as well as women. And the product that I was introduced to quite recently is this fantastic product called Collagen Plus. And it's produced by Synergy Worldwide, which is one of the leading companies in the world for supplement production. And they really do understand the science behind the products that they formulate. And they have their own research and development center, and they employ over 30 specialists, medical doctors, research scientists, and those people who've come up with this particular formulation. The products are always organic, so the raw materials are tested, and you've got, you know, you can be reassured that everything that goes into these products have been tested for their purity and their efficacy, and they do their own clinical trials on all the products. So you can really be reassured that you're taking the best product that you can find. And this product you'll see is called Collagen Plus, and the plus refers to the other enhanced ingredients. The other ingredients then enhance the product and make it even more effective, and make that our body's able to assimilate it far more effectively. And you'll see there's a little packet on the side. That's how it comes. It comes in a little packet, and it's a powder form which you just dissolve in your drink. It can be any drink, it can be hot or cold. So it could be easier, and you can just take it with you. And as we said before, it really affects the whole body. And a lot of us have been getting those great results, which we'll talk about in a little while. So the collagen, the plus part, refers to these synergistic ingredients, which are really important for collagen synthesis in the body. And you can see there what they are there. I'm sure you're familiar with them all. Vitamin C, hyaluronic acid is something that a lot of cosmetic companies put in their products, so you've probably seen it there, and also zinc. And we know that this product has been scientifically validated, and that it comes in the form of collagen peptides. Now, collagen peptides are very bioavailable for the body. So they're smaller molecules, and they can be really absorbed into the bloodstream, and they can be very effective there. And you'll see there that we've also put the quantities of the other ingredients down for you to see. Thinking about each one of those in turn, vitamin C is actually the most important ingredient that they've added in alongside the collagen, because it's crucial for that three-stranded molecular structure to come together. Without vitamin C, that doesn't happen. And you might be surprised to know that about 50% of the population don't have enough vitamin C to be able to produce collagen in their bodies. So that's obviously something that we need to add in. The hyaluronic acid, this is an interesting ingredient because it has this amazing ability to draw water into it. So it helps to keep the tissues very hydrated and lubricated. And in fact, when people have knee surgery, they will have a hyaluronic acid injected into that joint to help draw the moisture in and keep it all plump and firm. It also supports good gut bacteria as well, as does collagen, and that's a sort of another talk. But as I said, we do have these great overall benefits. I'm sure a lot of you know that zinc is actually a really important trace mineral for our immune system. So that's there for that reason, but also it stops those enzymes that I talked about earlier, those destructive enzymes. It blocks the production of those enzymes, which is obviously really important if we're trying to boost the collagen in the body. So as we've said, when we age, collagen production declines and the enzymes that destroy the collagen increase. But what we can do by taking Collagen Plus is to reverse this so that we can really boost the production and synthesis of collagen and reduce those enzymes that destroy the collagen in the body. So it's a sort of two-pronged attack there. Now I've got some great pictures for you. Some kind people, some kind customers have been very brave and shown us these pictures. And in this one, you can see on the left-hand side that this is a picture taken before this lady started taking collagen. And on the right-hand side, it's the same lady, but a month after taking collagen. You can see, although the pictures aren't quite identical, you can see, I think, that there's been quite a difference there and a reduction in the wrinkles in her neck. Got another neck series of photographs to show you there. And on the left-hand side, this was a picture taken before this lady started to take any collagen. And the middle picture is after 1 month. And the picture on the right-hand side is after 2 months. So that's quite a dramatic change there. I think you'll all agree. I'm sort of wish I'd taken photographs of my neck then, but I don't think I was brave enough. And here's another set of pictures. Now this goes back to what I was saying about, you know, lockdown hands. And these are quite dramatic changes, I think. Top left is, again, before this lady started taking collagen. Top right is a month after, and the lower one is after 2 months. And if you compare that one with the top one, it is quite a dramatic change. I have actually my own testimonial about my hands because, as I mentioned earlier, I was sort of prone to eczema and very sensitive skin. So at the beginning of lockdown, when we started using hand sanitizers, my skin just fell apart on my hands, and particularly on my right hand, which obviously use more than my left hand because I'm right-handed. The skin on the palm of my hand completely broke down. It became red and sore and cracked. And every time I used sanitizers, it was really painful, and it just made this issue worse and worse. And I tried putting some things onto my skin, which sort of helped a little bit, but never really healed it. But I only had to take collagen for about a month before my skin really started to heal, and I started to notice the difference. And now, if I show you the skin on my hands, I don't know if you can see, but it's exactly the same on both hands. Whereas this one, I would have been too embarrassed to show you 3 or 4 months ago because it looked so horrible. And the great thing is, those gains have stayed with me. So sometimes with skin, it can get better, then it can go again, it can go bad again. But this now has been as good as this for the past so 2.5, nearly 3 months now. And it's changed my life because I'm not having to be really careful about what I do with my hands anymore. So for me, that's been one of the best results. The other good result is I don't get creases on my face anymore in the morning. So I'm really pleased about that as well. And here we have some more testimonials, and they're quite interesting because they refer to not only people who found that their appearances improved, but also, oops, sorry, I've touched that by mistake. but people who've had sort of long standing structural problems that have been resolved, and also, you know, people really recovering from surgery and injury very much more quickly than they would have expected to. So it is really a bit of a magic ingredient, this. There is a chap who's a functional doctor on a practitioner, and he's very keen on collagen, and he's been giving some webinars over Instagram and various other social media portals, and he's been talking very much about this idea of collagen loading. And he was saying that this the reason is that what he suggests is that we take, actually, instead of just one portion of collagen a day, that for the initial month that we take it, we take 3 portions a day, because we need to boost our collagen levels, because most of us have very reduced collagen levels. So he suggests that we take 3 a day for a month and then just go back to taking 1 a day. So that's an idea I know some of us are really keen to try. And of course, we will report back our results from that too. So that's something that you might also consider. So thank you for that sort of whistle-top, for listening to that, the whistle-stop tour of collagen there. I hope you found it useful, and I hope it's given you sort of food for thought. But also it's very positive in that we can do something ourselves to look after our own health, not only our appearance, but also, you know, our whole bodies and all the structural systems in the body. So I'm going to turn you back now to stop my share, if I can work out how to do that. There we go, and hand you back to Sue.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. That was really super interesting. I found that really, really helpful, and just I'm really fascinated by the whole collagen loading thing, having been a vegetarian since, and that's actually something we must just say here. The collagen plus is not suitable for vegetarians because it is from an animal source. However, having been a vegetarian since I was 14, I'm actually going to break a little bit of my beliefs, because I'm struggling with my own hip problem from overuse, and it's not getting any better. So I am going to try the collagen loading to see whether it makes a difference to my hip, but equally as much because in Dr. Josh Ash talks about the fact that if we don't take on collagen from animal sources, and for me, having been a vegetarian for a long time, I'm lacking in the amount of collagen that my body produces. So watch this space for this one. Now, does anyone have any questions? There was a couple of questions. What you would need to do if you're interested in purchasing the collagen, you need to go back and have a conversation with the person that suggested you listened into the webinar today, and they will guide you through the costings and everything for it if you're interested in purchasing it. So there's a couple of questions. Does it help with the conditions like psoriasis? It absolutely does, but I would suggest with psoriasis you would also look at your gut health as well, because psoriasis comes from an underfunctioning your gut not functioning efficiently. So I would suggest that you have a conversation with someone about your gut health or whoever it is, but it will help. Collagen will support that as well. Is it something you need to take ongoing, or do you get to a point where you've improved it enough to not need it? Well, I would suggest if you were doing the collagen loading, you might find you get to a point where you then would either just be taking 1 sachet a day, or you could come back in and out with it. But with all these things, it's about consistency. If you stop taking something, then the levels will drop naturally in your system as you age. So it's probably more, it's like when you put a radiator on, there's no point in putting a radiator on for an hour and then switching it off and the room gets really cold, and it costs more to heat it back up again. So really think about the kind of consistency in terms of how you are nourishing your body on a weekly basis. Lots of thank yous for Sarah there. So Kerry's answer, how much is the collagen flow? We can have a separate conversation about that because we weren't. So is it bovine? Yes, it's bovine. Okay, so has anyone else got any other questions? If you're okay and you've put your questions in the chat box, then or indeed go back to the person that invited you to the webinar and have a conversation with them and see how you can access the collagen. So that all that leaves me to say is thank you everyone for logging on at lunchtime today. I am going to this has been recorded, so I'm going to download it and I will share it with you so that you can go back through Emma's wonderful techniques and kind of practice that on a day-to-day basis. Emma, I can already feel my cheekbones are less tense than they were when I first joined the webinar, having been on Zoom all morning. So so thank you both, Sarah and Emma. Great presentations, really, really interesting. Thank you everyone for joining us this lunchtime. And if you do have any questions, as I say, go back and have a conversation with the person that suggested you listened into the webinar in the first place. Suzanne put her hand up. Suzanne, did you have a question? I may have missed the question from Suzanne.
I didn't. Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah.
I'm not in the chat box. About dark spots, would it help with dark spots?
In terms of like aging spots on your skin? Yes, it absolutely will do. Yeah.
Make them disappear, or just
I can't promise you they'll disappear, but I definitely think they would reduce. It would be interesting if you wanted to try it. If you've got age spots on your hands, take a picture of them beforehand. You did see that picture of the hands and how much they had improved over the course of the time that they were being taken. I'm just going to check the chat box again and just make sure there's no more questions. Lovely. Anybody else have any other questions? If not, just to say, as I say, thank you so much for listening in. If loading, is that spread over the day or in one go, please? It's spread over the day. So you take 3 sachets a day, morning, lunchtime and evening. Basically, you spread it out over the day. And you only do that for a month. So you just top up all the where you're lacking collagen in joints and your tissue and all that kind of thing. And then you would either drop it to 1 a day after that. So you would expect to see yourself 20 years younger if you were going to do a collagen loading for a month. So that would be nice, wouldn't it? So thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. Take care, have a great rest of the day and have a lovely weekend. And we will speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.